this is where we start to see the trade war actually bloom into what we now know and refer to as the trade war. So the president announces blanket tariffs on the world and specifically raises tariffs on China to 10%. This comes in February 4th. This day is important. Right behind me is an Iowa-class battleship. This is the first salvo in what we call the trade war. Are you not advancing? There we go. All right, got a Chinese battleship here. So then February 4th happens. President Trump raises tariffs on China to 10% in addition to 232 and 301 tariffs, right? So we're starting to stack tariffs at this point. So then on February 10th, China returns a salvo in the trade war and raises tariffs on U.S. imports again to 10%. And then the U.S. and China just start bickering at this point, right? We see the Iowa class with China. So from March until April, the U.S. just starts going back and forth, raising tariffs on each other, right? China and the U.S. just start going back and forth in this bicker fest. So that they both basically land at or about 125% of the cost of an item for import into the respective countries. Now, this effectively stops all trade between China and the U.S. simply because it becomes illogical to start importing goods from either country. It is difficult to say who actually wins in this war because U.S. importers are a lot and are a very vocal group here in the U.S. We don't make a whole lot of stuff here. Well, we do make a lot of stuff here in the U.S., but importers are like, think of people like Target, Walmart, stuff that you're going to buy. They start raising alarms to the president, like, we can't keep this up. Like, and then as a result of this trade war over the month of like April and May, the U.S. economy starts absolutely tanking. Stock market is in basically free fall. I forget how many points it actually fell, but it is bad, such that like important CEOs of large companies go and start talking to the president saying, we can't keep this up. It will hurt you, President Trump. It will hurt this politically. It will hurt you if you keep this up. We need something to change. On the other side, though, China makes a lot of its money by exporting to the rest of the world. Primarily the U.S. We are, or at least we were, one of their largest trade partners. So we're not spending any money with China. They're not making any money with the U.S. And U.S. importers are starting to lose money hand over fist because the stock market's in free fall. So who really wins? Don't really know. It really just feels like everyone is just kind of at this stalemate and something has to budge. Both sides, I want to make this very clear, both sides are impacted by this. It's just that China is not as great with their economic numbers and people don't really trust them. We won't talk about that. This is not a political it's not a political video. So anyways, the trade war happens in the course of a month, and then it just kind of burns out. And both sides, China and the U.S., both agree to resolve the hostilities and return tariffs down to a level where trade can start to happen again.